Hello there and welcome to episode 19 of my playthrough of the 2018 Harebrained Schemes BattleTech game. Today I am going to be tackling Flashpoint Mission Succession. So let's see what we have here today. It's a 2.5 skull difficulty rating, so it should be relatively straightforward given the mechs that I've got on the books. We are in Primus today, which is right at the top end of the map, deep in Capellan space. We have been employed by the Draconis Combine. Engagement length is short, so that should mean 2 missions, maybe 3 at most, but usually it's 2. There are no consecutive deployments. Bonus reward is a rare weapon, so that could be interesting. Hopefully we get something nice there. Usually it will mean like an AC plus weapon, which I don't use. I'm strictly using UACs and LBXs. Tonnage requirements are light, and that's really great because I do like the light tonnage missions in this. It just presents more of a challenge, and you kind of got to build more interesting lances up around that. I did a previous episode on preparing for the Flashpoint missions, so if you watch that, you'll know that I do have a multitude of mechs in and around the 55 to 45 ton bracket in preparation for these particular light criteria missions. And we're up against the Red Hair Irregulars. I've never heard of them. I don't know if they're in the BattleTech lore, but I certainly have never come across them. So we'll see what that entails. And here is our liaison from the Draconis Combine. This is Reynald Yamaguchi. So he's got the whole Japanese lineage thing going on here, which is completely understandable because the Draconis Combine are very much a power affiliated with the Japanese feudalist system. Draconis Combine are kind of traditionally the bad guys in BattleTech, but you won't find a cooler power in the inner sphere. They're all like samurai warriors, and their colour scheme is to die for. That red and black is just gorgeous. Like, it's very sinister, but you know, every good story needs an antagonist, and the Draconis Combine do like to play that role quite often. And yeah, just everything about them is great in terms of, especially on tabletop, they're a fun faction to play. My one criticism is that I don't think they really get the concept of weapon synergy. So on a lot of their mechs, you see like PPCs and SRMs, which just does not work together. It really should be PPCs and LRMs. Yeah, I don't know why that is. It's one weird thing they have. They tend to use a lot of like PPC based weaponry as well. Like the Panther is very much their mech. Things like the Thug, which isn't in this game, but it's an 80-ton assault mech. That's a prime example actually. 2 PPCs, 2 SRM6s. Bizarre choice. Really kind of lets the mech down, and it looks like a very cool machine as well, so a bit of a shame that, but hey ho. Anyway, let's get into this. So an associate of mine on Primus is in desperate need of assistance. If you are open to a little subcontracting, I'll make it worth your while. So let's go ahead and begin. So, Commander Durant, just the mercenary I was hoping to see. I have a favour to ask of you. There is a woman here, a Capellan dignitary, whose favour I must curry. I think that I can win her over, but I'm going to need your help. With respect, Shugo Yamaguchi, I'm surprised that you're going to the trouble. Primus is a backwater Capellan farming world. Why would you care what some local dignitary thinks? In truth, I don't, but there are people in the Combine, influential people, who have developed an interest in the sleepy little planet, and I am under orders to facilitate their ambitions. And that, in turn, has required me to integrate myself with the locals. And so I find myself in my current predicament. Our dignitary is a woman of influence, a voting member in the Primus Planetary Authority. I don't care whether she likes me or not, but I absolutely must have her political support, and I need your help to get it. Does the dignitary have a name? Lady Helen Coulan. She's experiencing mercenary troubles of sorts, and she needs mercenary assistance to resolve them. To be honest, I'm a little hazy on the details. Lady Helen isn't always as lucid as she could be. I mean, she's a bit crazy. But whatever the nature of her problem, I have no doubt that you'll find a solution for it. Just do whatever she asks of you, make her happy. When she is happy, I'll be happy, and you'll get paid. As long as her request is within reason, we'll do our best to accommodate her.
With respect, Mr. Oliveira, you are trained killers. She is a provincial aristocrat. I can't imagine that anything she asks of you will take you too far out of your comfort zone. I'll reserve judgment on that until I've heard what she wants. Yes, well, you're about to get the chance. I'm putting you in touch with Lady Helen. The sooner you can get this over with, the better. Out of respect for your mutual privacy, I will vacate the conversation, but I'll be in touch after her needs have been satisfied. So here she is. Okay, a middle-aged lady. Commander Lemuel Durant, what a pleasure it is to finally meet you. Reynald has been singing your praises for ages now, and it's good to put a face to the name. As I'm sure Reynald told you, I am Lady Helen Coulan, Overseer of Shantia Province and third peer of the Primus Planetary Authority. Quite a mouthful, I know, but propriety demands that I use the full title. Fate has placed a terrible burden on my shoulders, Lemuel. It's almost more than I care to bear. Tell me about this burden. There is a mercenary, a trained killer who calls herself Yutu. She has ignored me both personally and professionally, and she caused great distress to my son, Lord Angus Coulan. Indeed, my beloved boy has been so traumatised by Yutu, hope I'm saying that even remotely correctly, and her band of miscreants that he's confined himself to the Red Roost, our family's stronghold. I can hardly get him to set foot outside the building anymore. For my son's sake and for the sake of my house, I need you to hunt down Yutu and eliminate her. I cannot rest until that horrible woman lies dead. What kind of backup will she have? You mentioned a band of miscreants earlier. Yutu has friends, if you can call them that. Allies of convenience may be a better description. They call themselves the Red Hair Irregulars. They're a nest of vipers, a rabble of frontier pirates who play at being mercenaries, but I don't fear them, Lemuel. Not with you by my side. I know that you will protect me. We'll do what we can, Lady Helen. I can ask no more than that. Godspeed, Lemuel. Protect the future of House Coulan. Destroy Yuitu and her irregulars, and I give you my word that our friend Reynald will have my support. My best to you and your company. You are heroes, one and all. Well, she seems nice. A little saccharine for my taste, but nice. I don't know what Yamaguchi was talking about earlier. She seemed pretty lucid to me. We've got a job, so I guess it doesn't matter. May as well get to it, Lemuel. The sooner this Murky's dead, the sooner we can collect our pay. Right, so we've got a... Here we are. We've got a tonnage restrictive assassinate mission today. 2.5 skulls. I'm going to take a little bit more cash here, I think. Yeah, we're still early on in the Flashpoint, so I don't think we'll be getting much in the way of difficult, like, mechs thrown at us with, like, Lost Tech equipment on them. Oh, and it's 75 tons, so we've actually got some more leeway today than the usual 55-ton restriction. Okay, so we're on an Assassinate mission. This is a good opportunity, actually, to use some of the heavy mechs. They kind of get eclipsed a little bit by the assault mechs in this game, and I purposefully used heavy mechs during the priority missions so I could use them. The flashpoints are going to be much more about the assaults and the mediums, but this will give me a chance to play with some heavies. Yeah, let's do that actually. We'll bring, first of all, we'll bring the Grasshopper. He's the big jumpy mech. And we will put Boudica in the Grasshopper. I think we'll leave Oculus on the bench today. We'll bring the Black Knight as our big heavy tanks. This is Charles. We'll put Metal in there. Loadouts. Oh, I should talk about it a little bit. 2 L lasers and 4 M lasers and an S pulse for the Grasshopper. Lots of heat management as you'd expect, because the Grasshopper is a very energy like spam-esque mech, so it needs some decent heat management on there. Black Knight has got 2 ER L lasers and 4 M lasers as well, and double machine guns. So he is rocking another energy spam here. So we've got energy spam galore today. Next up, we'll bring the Marauder, and I've changed the Marauder out to be very, very different. 2 PPC double pluses and a Gauss rifle plus. Now it runs fairly hot, this mech. You see, we literally can't get any heat sinking on there because the weapons take up too much. But the way to manage the heat system is basically just to drop one of the PPCs. That's it, and the Gauss rifle will do the remainder of the damage. And we'll put in someone who can actually shoot, I think. Put Vortex in the Marauder today. And finally, in fact, no, let's put Darkstar in there. I've not used Darkstar for a while.
he's just annoyed me as well because he cost me 2 million sea bills. He got kind of integrated with some pirates and gambling, and I had to pay them off or I'd lose him, and he's a good mech warrior, so I paid the 2 million. So yeah, funds are not great at the moment, but it should start to increase as we get into the Flashpoint. And then finally, we'll need another jumpy type mech. So I think we'll bring the catapult today, because why not? And we'll put code in the catapult. That's a nice little lance there. Oh, what are we... Oh, I've read this completely wrong. Maximum of 240 tons. Ah, that's annoying. Okay, well, we can potentially bring the catapult and... no, we can't bring the catapult. Okay, well, let's drop the Black Knight and put the Warhammer in. We've got 100 tons, so we can put in the Enforcer as the jumpy mech, and we can then bring the Hunchback as the other tank. That works actually well. The Enforcer I used on the last mission, so if you watch that you'll know it's the Gauss Rifle 3M lasers. The Hunchback is the finisher tank here, so UAC 10 2 ERM lasers, and the Warhammer is just a big energy spammer. So that's, yeah, 2 snub PPCs, 2 impulses, and a multitude of heat management. Also a TTS there as well for energy, just to give us that little bit of a bonus to energy. So that's it, that's exactly right, 240 tons. We'll have to remind myself to read the actual full description of the tonnage going forward. So let's go ahead and deploy. And the Assassinate Missions are usually relatively straightforward in this game. It's just you have to kill one mech that's usually either more difficult than the other land, so it'll be something heavier and with more guns on there, or they usually put something really left field in there, like a Cicada, and as soon as you kind of start to damage it up, it starts to run away, so you've got to kind of maybe even like target legs and things like that to stop that happening. That's actually the harder one, when they run something like a Cicada, because literally all you have to do is like scratch the paint and it starts to run away to its objective, and then you lose the mission. So it's good that we've got the Gauss Rifle in play here with the Enforcer, because the Gauss Rifle can really kind of target in on legs and take legs off if necessary. But I have no idea what we'll be up against. We might be up just against a traditional, like, you know, like a heavy mech or something like that, that we have to assassinate. So we're getting an incoming transmission commander. It looks like our target has something to say. Attention, incoming mercenaries. I am Commander U2. Really, I'm going to struggle with that. Of the Red Hair Irregulars, and you are encroaching on my company's territory. Turn back or be destroyed. Well, she sounds confident. For good reason. I've got more than 100 enemy kills under my belt. If you don't want to join them, I suggest you turn tail and run. Okay, so we've got multiple locations being spammed at us here. So we'll take out these reinforcements first. Let's swing around this hillside. We should be able to rain some fire down on this hilltop here when we come into range of whatever is going to be thrown at us from this right-hand flank. So there's just one big unmovable wall there that we can't get down. So we should start to see the opposition shortly. There we are. Wouldn't be surprised if this lance is very badly armoured, because it was a 2.5 skull like mission, and if we're going to get like, we maybe have to destroy 9 mechs here, and I just don't think the game would be that like cruel to give us like fully armoured lances. There is a vehicle there though, so that does change things a little bit. Let's go and take him out actually, because we'll soften him up for sure with a frontal attack on this gallant urban assault vehicle. AC-10 and an LRM-10 work pretty well together, but the machine guns and the SRM we won't have to worry about, because it won't get in that closer range to us. So now just an LRM spam if we've got one, which I don't think we have actually. No, we don't, but that's fine. Any frontal attack will take this
this vehicle out.
Attacking from position. Enemy vehicle destroyed.
And they're starting to try to get up this hill here, so that puts us in a really good position because we've got cover and we've got the elevation, which is nice. And now we'll just put you in there and see what you can see. Oh, and they are fully armoured, so yeah, we're getting the full lot thrown at us today. Got a Shadowhawk 2D. I think it's very similar loadout to the 2H variant. I actually prefer the Shadowhawk 2D in this game. It drops all those stupid ballistic points that you simply can't use and puts more energy points on there, which is useful. There's a Javelin here as well with 2 SRM6s, so I think we'll target the Javelin. That's an easier kill. We've created one of those SRM6s, which is nice. A Griffin 1S there as well. That's the L-laser variant of the Griffin. Again, a Griffin I actually like in this game, because it doesn't run as hot as like the standard stock variant. Drops that PPC for the L-laser, which is something I very much like to do in BattleTech, especially if you're playing like Succession Wars or just the end of the Succession Wars. PPCs run hot. L-lasers slightly cooler, and they do less damage, obviously. There are bonuses to the PPCs in this game that you don't get off tabletop. For instance, you have the ability to do stability damage with them, which is obviously very beneficial. Oh, missed the Gauss rifle. It's terrible. Ugh, that probably would have like taken out his arm as well. That's fine. We only took 2 hits there and a stray shot by the looks of it. Lovely stuff. There goes the spider's arm. You can shoot the arms all down the spiders, it doesn't matter, because both the medium lasers are in the centre torso. Shadowhawk getting in on the action now. This is a pretty easy lance actually. A Javelin, a Spider, a Shadowhawk and a Griffin. It's nothing really to worry about. We're going to have to pop out of the cover here, which is slightly annoying. In fact, I might not do that. I think I'm just going to sprint up here. Keeping the cover, because we are going to get humbugged by the opposition. They're coming from this left-hand flank, and the right-hand flank is occupied, so they are going to humbug us on this position or outflank us. But that's fine, because we've got cover and we've got very good mechs, and there's nothing much down here to worry about too much. I'm quite happy to bring Sigmar out of the trees, because he can absolutely take a punch. It's good actually if they focus on him for the duration. That would be good, while the others shoot from the trees, because they're all well, the Grasshopper's actually 70-ton mech, but the other two are medium. I don't think one missile hit him then. And code in Lucy. Let's see what we can hit here. I think we'll try and take out the spider. Percentages, we'll do a precision strike here, just get rid of this guy. Oh, he's still in the fight. Running a little bit hot here with the Grasshopper, which is understandable given the dual L lasers. Doing a superb job though getting into the armour. Oof. I do like an L laser, especially the L laser treble plus variant, which I think that is, has got a real accuracy bonus on there. So that makes it super good. And it almost brings it up to spec with like a pulse weaponry, given that little accuracy bonus. I think, yeah, we should be able to take out the spider now. Lovely. Elevation in this game is, it gives you a really nice advantage because of those extra
like chances to hit that you get on the percentages for being at an elevated position. If you can get in an elevated position with cover like here, then you can basically soak up flak all day and fire back as long as your heat can manage it. Sigma is going to wreck this Griffin with an alpha strike. Oh, we got like full coverage there, I think, but we shaved off like 25% of his armor. I think that was a rear shot, but that's fine. It's just a missile on the rear. Let's where can we get a decent shot? I think that should do. Don't want to put our rear to the reinforcements that are coming. Right arm destroyed of the Shadowhawk, so that will be maybe a laser. He's still got the mainstay of his weapons, although he's fallen back, so he only LRM spam then, which is a bizarre choice with an LRM 5. Yeah, weird. Anyway, his choice. Let's just go and finish off this Shadowhawk, I think. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Both legs destroyed, nice. And the Griffin's going point blank. Not a good idea against a 70-ton mech and a 70, or two 70-ton mechs here, sorry. We'll do a physical attack to drop some heat. And I think anything that touches this guy now is going to get into the structure. Because he got alpha striked by the Warhammer, which shaved off a lot of his armor. We'll do a physical attack now with the Warhammer. There goes his right arm and right torso. So that should be his L laser gone. Left arm's gone as well with the secondary attacks, or the support attacks. And he's been knocked over, so he's not having the best day. Right, now we can just basically turn around and start shooting at these vehicles. Just going to put Lucy in the trees here and sink some heat. I think everyone else can sprint down into the trees at the bottom. There's only, should be, well, if they're all vehicles, there'll be 3 of them because we've destroyed one already. So that's some nice heat bleed there, so we should be able to go in firing at these vehicles. We've got an Inferno carrier there as well, which are always quite nasty. Should be alright. It'll heat us up if he hits. I think he hit us with 1. Terrible shooting there. But even if I think he'd have hit 4 or 5, we would have been fine then. We're not running that hot with the Grasshopper. I'm going to target the Inferno carrier though, because they can be slightly annoying. Do a double strike here. Let's try this. Narcs can be a bit frustrating as well. There are 2, like, for want of a better term, electronic type weapons in this game, which give you bonuses to damage or accuracy, and that's the Narc and the Tag. The Narc improves missile damage done on an opponent, and the Tag improves either accuracy or damage to ballistic and energy weapons. I think that's right. Could be wrong though. Pretty sure Narcs are right. I'd have to go and check Tags on what the actual effect is of hitting it. Narcs as well. Narc is actually a missile, so there's like limited ammo of them, but Tags can basically just shoot all day. It's just basically for want of a better term, it's a laser component, not a laser weapon. It doesn't do damage per se. Or it might do like 1 damage, but it's not meant for damage. It's meant to kind of light up the opposition so the rest of your lands can go and do more damage on it or get like higher rates of accuracy on there. Now the mech warrior is now behind us, so we're going to have to run down into this ravine. Interested to see what she is piloting today. I really like in this game how they do like lore appropriate in the flashpoints, and that's basically when you get into the inner sphere.
if you go to the stores, like at the moment we're in the Capellan area of space, and if you go to the like inner sphere civilizations, they'll have like Vindicators and Cataphracts and Catapults on the books, which is exactly how it should be, because they are mechs that you associate with the Capellans. Ooh, it's Orion Mark V. So it looks like we're already in the leg there, which is very, very good. I don't think this guy will try to skip out, though, because he's a big Orion, so he'll probably fight to the death. His leg might pop here. Must be close. I think we will do a precision strike, actually, see if we can't finish this leg off. Yeah, should get it quite easily. Nice. And all that damage then transferred to the right torso as well, which took out the torso and the arm. Very nice. That should have taken his AC out, I believe. Yeah, he's not got much left to throw at us here. So we got lucky with that Gauss rifle shot, really, on the first hit. Do love the Orion, lovely mech. It very unjustifiably gets called a poor man's Atlas, which I simply do not agree with. I think it's a really, really fine mech in its own right, is the Orion. It goes to the left arm. And we may be able to pop this guy now with, maybe not with the Grasshopper, but we certainly should be able to do it with the Warhammer. It's got his defensive bonuses there because he is like hunkered down and braced. And this should be a pretty easy kill here for Big Sigmar. Wow, still in the fight. Good for him. Oh, it's a her, isn't it, I think, actually. Commander U2, I think, was a lady. Look at this. This guy. Absolutely smashed. Right, who wants to just, like, touch this guy and he'll blow up? Just use the Gauss rifle on it. There we go. All targets eliminated. Sit tight. It's going to be easy to catch up with U2's ejection pod commander. There's already a whole swarm of red hair battle mechs converging on her location. I underestimated you, Commander. You're much better than the last assassin my mother sent after me. Wait, your mother? She didn't tell you. I suppose I'm not surprised. If you'll grant me the courtesy of parley, I'll tell you what you've gotten yourself dragged into.
Mission successful.
Actually, I think I read that wrong. I think it said that it was hard for us to get to the ejection pod because her allies were coming, which makes sense. Over 500,000 Seabills, very nice. Very, very little damage there. We absolutely took them to task on that one. AC-10s, don't use them. Any electricals? I always got my eye out for TTSs. There aren't any here. No, the SRM2 is not a good weapon anyway, but the crit one, not good at all. The one with the extra damage isn't so bad. We'll take the LRM10 stability damage then. A nice piece of the Orion there as well to sell off, so we'll probably get about maybe like 150,000 for that. So, Succession 2, High Orbit Primus. Good of you to speak with me, Commander. The last assassins I had to deal with were far less courteous. I suppose that introductions are in order. I am Lady Yvonne U2 Coulan, first daughter of Lady Helen Coulan and heiress to the governorship of Chantier Province. You got proof of that, or are we just supposed to take your word for it? You'll find a copy of my bloodsheet attached to this com feed. Examine it to your heart's content. It'll only confirm what I've told you. She's telling the truth, Commander, and her outfit got an impeccable MRB rating to boot. By all indications, she's a reliable, trustworthy mech warrior, and she's our client's eldest daughter. And yet, Lady Helen's put a price on her head. She has, but I don't blame her for it. My mother is not well. She does her best to conceal her condition, but her mind is not what it used to be. For all my life, my mother has been a force of nature, the sharpest woman you could ever hope to meet, with the heart of a poet and the determination of a warrior. But as she's aged, she's become confused, easily led and susceptible to flattery, and my vile of a brother, Angus has wasted no time turning her condition to his advantage. Angus isn't like my mother, he doesn't care about anyone or anything save his own personal advancement, and so where I have faced my mother with difficult truths, I think I need glasses, he has showered her with lies, vomited for flattery, like a gull feeding its chicks. Talk about poets, I think Miss Ivona is a bit of a poet. From his perch in the Red Roost, Angus has milked our mother's decline for his own benefit, and to my eternal shame, I have failed to stop him. We aren't really here at your mother's request, are we? Angus manipulated her into sending us after you. Naturally, if I were killed, he would become the heir to our mother's rank and title. That would be a tragedy both for me personally and for the people of Shantia Province. As I said before, Angus has no ambition save his own personal enrichment. He's bled our people dry. If given the chance, bleed our people dry given the chance. And if you carry out my mother's instructions, that's exactly what will happen. I get what you're saying, Lady Yvonne, but you need to know that we are working for your mother at Shugo Reynald Yamaguchi's request. If we fail to follow the letter of the request, it will damage our standing with House Kurita. And you need to know that if you carry out my mother's orders, Shugo Yamaguchi will be held accountable for the tragedy that follows. The people of Primus hate Angus as much as I do. He's an abusive, undisciplined little monster. How do you suppose the planetary authority will react if a Kuritan dignitary hands him the keys to the governorship? Badly, I imagine. Of course, if Angus were eliminated, the situation would be different. My mother's reason to kill me would disappear. Her mind may not be as clear as it once was, but she has enough sense to know that our house can't survive without an heir. And while I can't promise that Reynard will get the support he's looking for in the short term, I can vow that he would have my loyalty from now until the day I die. That's quite a proposal. You're asking us to go off mission and kill our client's son, in direct violation of Yamaguchi's instructions. Doesn't sound like the kind of a thing a mercenary would do, does it? But a decent person might. I await your decision, Commander Durant. For my own sake, I hope that you'll take the long view and do what's right. Yeah, I think we'll actually go with Lady Yvonne on this one. She made a good case there, I feel. We'll handle your brother for you, but when he's dead, but when the deed is done, you'd better hold up your end. Thank you for listening to Reason. When my miscreant of a sibling lies dead, there'll be no more need for bloodshed. This is the best way forward for Yamaguchi and for House Kulan. You won't regret your decision, I promise. Okay, let's just get on with this. I think they're going to have a moan now about us going off brief, but I kind of trust this lady. She has a good MRB rating as well, so that's fine. Okay, so we're in a destroy base, 2.5 schools in Lowlands. Should be relatively straightforward. Tonnage, what do we want? I think we'll again take more sea bills because I don't think we'll get great salvage from this mission. We get a nice salvage at the end when we've completed the mission. Now, we've got the same tonnage restrictions. Do I want to bring anything different today? Well, I probably do because if we're doing a destroy base, it might be useful to have some LRMs on show. To that end, let's bring the catapult and let's put Oculus in the catapult because Mina is his baby. It's the mech that I kind of run with him the most on tabletop is Mina. So let's give him an outing today. I don't think I've ever played him. Well, never recorded him in the catapult either because we've had the Highlander for so long. I've used him in the catapult plenty of times, so I just don't think I've recorded it. We're going to need a big tank today as well. Let's bring the Marauder, which is, I kind of showed that the last time, but we couldn't play it because of the tonnage restrictions. And we'll put Lady Death Lotus in the Marauder. She is a very, very good shot, so she's got those double PPCs and a Gauss rifle to be pinging off from a distance. What have we got left? We've got 100 tons left to play with here, so we can bring... I think I'm going to bring something interesting now. I'll bring my Kintaro and my Blackjack. Yeah. Jerome, the Kintaro, called Jerome because of Jerome Blake, who was the... if not the founding member, one of the founding members of Comstar. The Kintaro is very much a Comstar mech.
big SRM spammer, absolutely glorious. The equivalent of, what's that, 20 SRMs on there, which are devastating, especially these plus variants that deal more damage, and an extended range M laser just for support fire. Look at that firepower ratio. 267 on a 55 ton mech is wonderful. We'll put Darkstar in the Kintaro today, and in the Blackjack, I think we will put Talon just to get a bit of experience today. Blackjack is very much a Lost Tech Blackjack. 2 LB2Xs and 2 M-Pulses, so I've got some nice range there. Yeah, this is good. We're basically showing off a lot of the weird and wonderful mech designs that I've got on show, so that's fun to do. Full maxed out tonnage load there as well. We've got a ton of range on show. Apart from the Kintaro, everyone else is an absolute range monster. So that will bode well, I think, if we're trying to blow a building up from afar. Yeah, the destroy bases in this game are the absolute adverse, or the absolute opposite from the MechWarrior 5 game. In MechWarrior 5, you basically have to go into the base and just trash it, like walk through buildings and machine gun fire the buildings. In this, so you don't have to do that. You can basically like pew pew at buildings from afar and wreck them. But it depends how the mission goes. Like if we're a little bit out of our depth and far too much heavy stuff gets thrown at us, then we might pew pew and then run away. It's very rare that I have to do that though. Looks like we're in the right place, Commander. Lord Angus Coolant is hailing us. Attention, incoming battle mechs. You are trespassing on. Wait, you're the brutes that Mother sent to kill Sister. Is Yvonne dead? Can I see the body? I'm sorry to disappoint you, brother, but I am not the Kulan who will die today. You've sent them here to the Red Roost. My poor deluded sister, my bodyguards will crush them, and I will drink in the spectacle like a fine pot. This family. And then when I tell Mother what you've done, she will send more assassins, threaten to disinherit me, and then rage against the laws that prevent her from doing so. There's nothing... where are we? There's nothing more than that either of you can threaten me with, brother, and now your time has come. Right, let's just sprint down the wee hill here. Some nice quick mechs today as well with the jump capable and quick mechs with the mediums. I think we'll try and aim for these two like copses of trees here just to take some cover, because there'll probably be turrets and they'll probably have a lance defending this structure. Send Oculus in to see what we can see, and I think everyone else will just cautiously run into the trees, apart from the Blackjack, who is, as usual as a Blackjack, slow on the uptake. Slow on the uptake, but deadly from distance. We've got a mech first of the day. It's the 2D Shadowhawk, same as last time. Yeah, put you on this hill and... Now, watch the glory of the Kintaro. Runs relatively hot, but we can basically get maybe 3 alpha strikes in there with the weapon loadout. Awesome. The Kintaro is glorious. That's a hunkered down 55 ton mech, and we got into the structure there. So yeah, it just does great stability damage. Just a really, really fun time mech. We might as well start piling into these buildings as well. We've got the LBXs here. 2 lots of ammo on there as well, so we don't have to worry about running out. I didn't catch what that was. Maybe a Griffin. It might be the L laser variant of the Griffin. Something's got a PPC though. Not sure what that is. 55 tonner with a PP. That will be a Griffin. That'll be the traditional Griffin. Let's hit you up with a cheeky double PPC ping and Gauss rifle. You can see it generates a lot of heat, but what you just have to do is to drop one of the PPCs when you're running too hot. The stability damage on that Marauder is insane. It's basically just going to knock this guy over with 2 shots here. Oh well, 2 mech attacks. So he stripped a lot of his armour off and knocked him down, so he now runs with the heavies on the next turn.
Warning. Enemy sensor lock detected.
And that was a turret, I think, with dual PPCs. And that looks like an LRM-20 that I think got more stray shots than hits on Mina. Now we're just going to keep, let's see, if keeping the trees as much as possible. Talon might be a better first move option here. I think I might drop these two back and make like a defense here. Two mediums. Oh, I don't, actually, can we get a shot on that Shadowhawk? No. Yeah, we'll just jump in and we'll just keep flacking these griffins from afar. We can keep Jerome up on high, I think, so he can really rain down death with those SRMs on, especially a medium and a light mech here. So I think we will do that. Percentages aren't great. In fact, yeah, they are good. We just have to kind of make the step up there so we don't have the like hampered visibility. Do another alpha strike here. Hopefully this will take an arm off. Nice. Very, very good. He's LRMing the Kintaro. He should have really be using his direct weaponry there. Oculus. Now, what do you want to do here? Let's take the Shadowhawk out, or we should knock him over at least. Probably will take him out, actually. I just saw his center armor was pretty badly chewed up.
Enemy mech destroyed.
So what have we got? We've got 2 Griffins left and a Panther and 4 turrets. Glad that he took him out of the trees. That makes him a much more tempting target. We'd get up on this hill and fight down on him as well. Yeah, we've got some nice percentages there. Lovely. We might drop one of the PPCs here. Yeah, we're going to have to. But that's fine. One of the PPCs actually has more accuracy and one does more damage. And I purposefully did that because, for that reason. If I need like to do the more damage, obviously you go with the 75%, but if you need the accuracy, which will be beneficial here. And we missed with a Gauss rifle. That was annoying. It is hard to make a Marauder work in this game in the traditional sense. I still attest to the fact I think that the PPCs are broken in this game. They're far too hot. Damage ratio I think is great, but the heat that they generate is too much to make them really any good. You can make them work on the double heat sink mechs, like the the Highlander. I've got one on there. It works perfectly fine, but I'd much prefer to use the snub PPCs usually, just because of that little bonus in heat that you get with them. Okay, do you know I might actually. Actually, his heat's relatively bad here, so I think we'll keep him just a little bit out of sight, and he can just one little cheeky shot on this Griffin. I'll cool him down a little bit. He should be able to then alpha strike on the next turn. And they're really suffering trying to take out the Marauder here because it's got good armor and it's in the trees. Cheeky wee Blackjack can do a jump and an attack on. Yeah, we'll definitely target this Griffin. Nice, very good. Got into the structure there. Drop Oculus back a bit, just get rid of that stability damage, and then alpha strike this Griffin. Wunderbar.
think he's about ready to pop.
Detected.
Drop the Marauder back a little bit because he's getting pretty badly flacked by everything. So let's try and knock this chap over. Nice. Very nice. It's a quintessential finisher mech. That Gauss rifle, double PPCs, doesn't get more finishy. I just wish that the... I mean, I don't know if there is a Marauder variant in this game with double heat sinks in the engine.
Detected.
Not sure. There might be. There are several mech variants that have like double heat sinks, like there's a variant of the Griffin. There's all the old Star League mechs, like the Highlander, the Atlas II, the Bull Shark as well has double heat sinks. But there are many. I think there's like a variant of the Phoenix Hawk that actually has double heat sinks in the engine. We're right on the cusp there, but we'll take... In fact, we'll do a precision strike here, because this should really cut this guy's right-hand side up. Yeah, but nice armour take-offs there. Again, we'll just keep moving and firing with the Blackjack. The Griffin's coming in for a physical attack, 63 damage, pretty good. He may even have an arm mod on there with that being such a weird damage. We'll repair the favour because that'll give us a chance to sink some heat. So nice stability damage there, and we got into the structure. And then Oculus, oh, we still got 95% on that Griffin. Look at that, lovely. And on with indirect fire. Just shows the power of having good tactics skills there on your mech warriors. And we've taken the leg out, which is good.
Critical damage detected.
So I'm just really grinding them down here from a distance, making them come to me. Always a good tactic to do when you know you're going to get turrets, which you are percentage-wise going to get when you go into a destroy base mission. So yes, you can get sensor locked and, you know, whatnot, but if you find like a little group of trees to hide in like we've done here, it's very difficult for them to get into your structure. Now... okay, we're going to move back and we're going to just heat up this Griffin. Let's try this. And Talon may be able to take this guy out now. 60... Oh, we'll just go for the centre torso because I'm really not bothered about salvage. There he pops. So just the Panther left now, and Lady Deathlotus should be able to do an alpha strike here. In fact, we'll do a precision alpha strike just so this guy can't spot for the turrets. Ah, just over heat threshold there. It is kind of annoying. It doesn't really work, but it's as good as I can get because it's the lightest Gauss rifle, because it's the plus variant with a -2 on tonnage. So annoying. I'm just going to do a regular strike actually here. I'm going to waste it because I'll drop the other PPC down. It's kind of... I think the ideal thing to do would actually just be to run one PPC and then an array of like extended range medium lasers and then put up heat management. But it just seems like the Marauder is so quintessentially a dual PPC mech. It just feels wrong to do that. It's just me being silly, but there are other ways to run Marauders very successfully in this. I've just desperately, for the entirety of me playing this game, I've been trying to get a Marauder to work traditionally, and I just don't think you can do it. But I'm going to stick with him because I like the idea of a ranged stability smasher like he is. Kind of works. And the Kintaro's holding up very well, considering he's had quite a lot of flack thrown at him. He is really, really doing a good job here. We'll go in and do a physical attack just to bleed off as much heat as we can. No support weaponry on this Kintaro, but that should knock him down. And then someone should just be able to go and finish this chap off relatively straightforwardly now. Maybe not the blackjack. We'll see. Oh, actually, yeah, it should be alright. We'll drop the pulse weaponry here just to bleed some heat. Nice shot, Commander. That's all of House Kulan's bodyguards down. We'll just pile into these structures. We've got to destroy 4 of them. 1 down. And there are, I don't think I targeted any turrets, so there should be 4 turrets left. Hopefully we can take this light standard turret out here. We'll just give it an SRM spam. Should be enough. More than enough. Where are the other turrets? Like, I'm sure there should be 2 on this side. Quite bizarrely placed. Actually, I'll sprint in with Buckaroo here, and then he can bleed some heat and jump on the next turn and shoot. Do the same with Mina. Get her in the trees though.
Waiting for order. Copy that, Commander. Brought it down, Commander.
And oh, okay. Well, sorry, we could actually see one of the turrets already, so that does explain where it went. Yes, we'll go and hopefully be able to finish this turret off with another SRM spam. Not the most exciting missions, the destroy bases, unfortunately.
Target confirmed.
Mina can just LRM 15 this thing to death. Bleed some more heat.
Target building destroyed.
Standing by. I'm there. Taking the shot.
So that's all the buildings destroyed, and we now just all we have to do now is just run over this hill and finish off the turrets, and then we'll be done. And then we'll see if we have suitably upset House Kurita, or whether our plan has paid off. This alarm spawn should be enough to take this turret out. Very good.
Target destroyed.
Commander.
Ooh, nice. And we again cannot alpha strike, and we can't destroy the turret. I really want to get the PPC variant of the Marauder to work, but I just don't think it's possible. I think I'm definitely gonna have to drop one of the PPCs and put some other weaponry on there. Ugh. So I feel like I'm perpetually like fiddling with that Marauder just to try and get it to work. Anyway, that should be us. I thank you again, Commander. My brother was a tick on House Kulan's back, training our coffers and preying on our mother's diminished faculties. Now he's dead, his poisonous influence cut short, and I have you to thank. You can thank us by sending Shugo Yamaguchi your support like you promised you would. I haven't forgotten our arrangement with Mr. Oliveira. I am indebted to your company, and as a fellow mercenary, I fully understand the importance of managing my debts. When you speak with Shugo Yamaguchi, I will reaffirm my commitment to supporting him. Cool.
Mission successful.
I think we'll have a good result out of this one. It would have seemed very disingenuous to kind of kill this girl when her mother has got like maybe the onset of dementia or something like that. So not great. Over 750,000 Seabills, very nice. Very little damage done to us. Everybody got a kill. Any nice weaponry? No. Boo. Take the LRM-10, double plus. And then we'll have maybe a long mission debriefing here, because there are some narrative things to tie up. And then we'll get our mystery box and see what prizes we get. Commander, it appears, sir, that there was a miscommunication in regard to what I expected from you in this deployment. I instructed you to make Lady Helen cool and happy. Do whatever she asked, I asked. Do whatever she asked of you, I said. Were these very simple instructions unclear in some way? Did you think that our conversation was a joke? They killed my boy, Renald, burned the red roofs to the ground. I want them all executed, hanged and quartered in the town square, poisoned, burned, beaten. They murdered my son. That's no empty threat in Capellan territory. They're crazy enough to do something horrible like that. Lady Coolan is upset, Commander Durant, and I am absolutely livid at your performance. I told you how important it was to make her happy. I told you how important it was that I have her support, and instead we did the right thing, you damn buffoon, for you and House Karita and Primus and House Coolan. Hell, we even did what was right for Lady Helen, though she's too upset right now to see her. Here, I've got somebody on the line you need to talk to, the both of you. Hello, Mother, it's me, Yvonne, your daughter. The last time I showed you my face, it upset you, so I'm leaving my mask on for now. Yeah, that's because they're cheaping out. The developers are cheaping out. They don't want to pay for extra artists, so they've got the nice stock version here of the mech warrior in the like old. Well, it's a big old helmet as well. But I hope that you remember my voice. You can't fool me. You're Yuitu, the mercenary, the one who terrorised my Angus, forced him to hide in the Red Roofs. You should be dead. I told Lemuel to kill you. Wait, Helen, you asked my mercenaries to kill your daughter? I didn't think... not now, let them talk. Nobody forced Angus to do anything, Mother. How do I explain this to you? Angus has been lying to you, manipulating you to doing things you'd never do on your own. No, my Angus wouldn't. Please forgive me, Reynald. I suddenly feel very faint. You should rest, Mother. We'll have a long talk about this later when you're ready. Clear the air like we used to when we had conversations in the garden back when I was a girl. Do you remember? We used to love those garden talks. You don't need to say anything. You don't even need to react. Just turn off the comm feed and rest, and I'll come to you when you're ready. Yamaguchi, I'm going to keep this brief. My mother is confused and in need of comfort, and while I am indebted to your mercenaries, her mental well-being is far more important to me than anything that you might have to say. I understand your feelings, Lady Yvonne, but remember who you're talking to. I'm well aware of who you are, the foreign dignitary who nearly saddled Shantia province with Governor Angus Coolan. You should know that you owe your mercenaries a tremendous debt. In disobeying your instructions, Commander Durant saved you from an irreparable damage in your own reputation. I know that you're worried about your standing with a planetary authority, so let me ease your troubled mind. Whatever favour you were attempted to curry with my mother, you will have it from me. Not because I like you, I don't, and that's unlikely to change, but because I made a deal with Commander Durant, and your mercenaries at least are worthy of my respect. From this moment until the day I die, you will have my conditional support. Conditional? I use my influence to promote your agenda so long as that agenda is within reason. Only a fool would promise more than that. That's becoming a familiar refrain. I take your point. Commander Durant, your job is finished. Congratulations, you'll be paid in full despite our earlier misunderstanding. Pleasure doing business with you. I should see my mother. I don't know if I can help her, but I have to try. Farewell to you and your company, Commander, and on behalf of House Coolan, thank you. You will always have friends in Shantia Province. We're leaving the system in good hands. We should all take pride in that. I know I do. Let's pack it in, people. We're done here. Right, only 750,000 today. 750 million would have been good. Another weird rare mech part. A commando. Really, they're everywhere in this game. Got some lovely missile weaponry here, though. That's SRM2 treble plus, double plus LRM5, SRM4 double plus, LRM20 plus, and SRM plus as well. I think that's it. So all about the missiles today, which is fine. A little bit disappointed with that payout, but such is life. We're just nearly at 9 million Seabills now, so we've made up for the shortfall of Darkstar's annoying gambling habits. Yeah, that went pretty well anyway, so I think I'm going to wrap this one up. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll hopefully catch you again in the next episode.